So if you're struggling to get to the bathroom on time, you've had bladder leaks, you've had more urgency, and it can feel really embarrassing, frustrating, can't make it to the bathroom on time, and afraid that this will happen in public. I know because a lot of women deal with this over the age of 40, so you're not alone. And bladder weakness is not just because you're getting older, not just because you had babies in the past. There's a lot of hidden reasons behind this. But the good news is you can solve it and you can conquer it if you're learning the right strategies to solve it. There are hidden reasons like your posture, your daily habits, your breathing habits, or even that your brain is not connecting to your muscles the right way. So in this video today, I'm going to talk you through the 6 hidden reasons around bladder weakness, why it's happening, especially as a woman over 40, and what you can do about it, how you can take action so that way you can take control of your body so it doesn't take control of yourself. We're going to learn how to support those bladder muscles properly and be able to just get more control over your body. So bladder leaks and urgency is very common, but it is solvable and you can avoid it if you're taking control of the things that are going to help you in a more natural way. Then that way you can feel more confident in your body. So here we go. Here are the 6 most overlooked causes of bladder weakness and what you can do about it. Okay, number 1 is slouched posture. Having bad posture puts a lot of stress on different areas around those muscles through your pelvis. What am I talking about? Well, think about sitting in a chair. We don't want to sit back on our tailbone, which often happens when we sit on a couch for a long period of time, or you're in the car and you're kind of slumping, or maybe at an office chair. So we want to get right over our sits bones and our pelvis, getting our ribs right over your hips. And when you do that, you will allow those muscles to work properly, improve your breathing, and then therefore that whole system can support your bladder even better. So poor posture for long periods of time, if you've gotten used to this, your muscles adapt, your hips get really tight, and this also affects the support around your pelvic organs like your bladder. So this, for the long run, can affect bladder weakness, causing those leaks when the muscles aren't functioning properly. With tight muscles, over time, they can weaken the pelvic floor, and therefore you don't have enough support to support your bladder when you have the urgency and you can't hold it. So what do you need to do? Well, sit up a little straighter, get right over those butt bones, those sits bones when you are sitting. And when you do that, automatically your spine will be more aligned. Think of growing taller through your spine. I talk about this in Pilates exercise, that we really want to keep that length in your spine because it can also change back pain, and not having back pain down the road is also very much correlated with having bladder problems. So fixing your posture and just being more mindful of that, and not gripping your muscles too tight, but just sitting right over your sits bones and aligning your spine and having some support behind your lower back if you are sitting for a period of time. This will also help keep you in alignment so your muscles can work for you and not against you. Now the next one, number 2, is breath holding. I see this a lot. If you go to lift something heavy, you do something strenuous, and you instead clench everything and hold your breath. We don't want to do that. We want to actually improve that pressure system so it's not putting pressure down on your pelvic organs and causing those muscles to not be able to support your bladder. Instead, you're going to breathe and exhale, breathe out as you lift something heavy. This can be very important if you're moving, or you're having to lift heavy groceries, or lift a child or grandchild. You want to think of exhaling and pulling in the muscles as you exhale. So when you're lifting properly, you are going to allow those muscles to work for you, not against you. Another helpful tip with that is learning diaphragmatic breathing. If we're not shallow breathing, but we're breathing through our belly and breathing through the muscles down here, rather than up in our shoulders and our chest, which happens when we get stressed. And this happens a lot in women, that we adapt to these positions where we're shallow breathing. You want to use your breath from your belly and from your diaphragm muscle down here. So going back to any of my other videos, I'll put a link below on how to learn diaphragmatic breathing and how that can be a game changer when it comes to helping support your bladder. Cause number 3 is chronic constipation or too much straining. So if you're having to spend too much time on the toilet, this is not great. It can set you up for problems like pelvic organ prolapse or a lot of other bladder related problems too. So without excessive straining, you don't want to spend a lot of time on the toilet. Instead, look at what you're eating in your diet. Are you staying hydrated? Are you eating enough fiber? Are you having to strain a lot when you go to the bathroom? So instead, those two things plus using a step stool or something called a squatty potty, I'll put my link below, but this also helps open up the hips and therefore your muscles will work for you, not against you, and you don't want to be straining and bearing down and pushing for long periods of time. This also just does a number on your pelvic floor muscles and will affect your bladder later on too. Cause number 4 is overusing the just in case peeing. If you're going on a long car trip or you're anticipating going out in public and you think, I better go just in case, well, over time, you're just changing the bladder capacity, and the bladder is connected to your brain, so it gets a little confused. So if you aren't allowing that bladder to fully go to capacity and get used to filling, it's going to create this urgency over and over that when it just has a little bit in there, it's going to tell your brain it's time to go over and over. And so that urgency increases. So we actually don't want to go just in case peeing. You want to go 2 to 3 hours in between going to the bathroom. And also, if you're going more often than that, look at what you're eating and drinking. Even keep a log for 24 hours, because this way you might want to change around your liquids. You might be consuming a lot of liquids first thing in the morning. That's making you go more often. But if we allow that bladder to fully get full and then go to the bathroom and just waiting another 15, 20 minutes each time, if you find yourself going more often than that, you want to expand that bladder. And so it gets used to being able to hold it, and therefore you're not going to get the urgency as often. So you're just extending that period of time between going to the bathroom. And normal is around 2 to 3 hours between each time to go to the bathroom. So cause number 5 is weak glutes and weak stabilizing muscles around your hips and your pelvis. Now, I have a really helpful program for this called Pelvic Floor Pilates that is going to take you through 15-minute videos based on Pilates exercises that help with strengthening your core, your pelvic floor, and your hip muscles. So if you don't have strong hip muscles, this can lead to poor support around your bladder. And it's not just those inner muscles, but all surrounding your glute muscles, your hamstrings, your core muscles around your back, and your deep abdominals. All of this can be very supportive to help that alignment around your pelvis and help support your bladder too. So doing Pilates-based exercise can be very helpful if you're really working those intricate muscles and really concentrating on what you're doing. Also in the gym, doing things like squats or deadlifts can be great for the hip muscles. And you don't want to just work them globally like big muscle groups, but you want to focus on the little ones, which can be great with Pilates. Cause number 6 could be unresolved diastasis recti, or having that core instability. Diastasis usually happens during the postpartum period, and for a lot of women, it doesn't have a full resolution of that core just really getting strong from the inside muscles out. And you may see like a doming or a tenting that happens, or a belly bulge when you go to sit up. And you have connective tissue between your abs there that tends to separate and lengthen. This can cause a lot of instability and weakness around your pelvis and around your midsection. That can lead to back pain, it can lead to bladder leaks, and if you don't have that strong foundation from there and really restore your body after pregnancy, then this can add up later on down the road where the problems get worse. So this is where you want to focus on that deep core muscles, deep core exercises like my pelvic floor Pilates program. I have those specific exercises that can help you really restore your core in a safe way. So there you have it, the 6 unresolved causes of bladder weakness and what you can do about them. So little tips there. Hope you learned something. Comment below on what you have tried already or what you learned today. I would love to know. And really, bladder problems, bladder leaking is more of a bigger issue. Not just one thing is going to solve it, but if you're tackling those 6 things I mentioned, then most likely your symptoms are going to drastically improve, and you'll find yourself just being happier that you don't have to run to the bathroom all the time and don't have to worry about it. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. I have some other helpful videos all about bladder weakness and bladder problems, bladder leakage, or feeling like you have a small bladder, all on this channel, and I'd love for you to go check them out. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in another video.